Hey guys, what's up? This is Medikai or K Wegner, here to just show you kind of a weird 12 classic win challenge deck that I put together. It's a riff on a pretty standard XbowNwitch deck, but it's XbowNwitch, which is not a set of cards that I thought was going to be a good combination, but it ended up working out just fine. Now, classic challenges don't really necessarily mean that you are the best player in the world if you can get 12 wins, but I got this on the first try, and I can't say every game was easy. We'll go through some replays here, but I did win 12-0, so not a single loss in all of these games. So it worked out pretty well. Let's start at the beginning. I actually don't know how many of these games ended up. So we're going to be doing commentary here, and I don't really know what we're going to be watching. All I know is that I won. So let's try a couple of these and see how it goes. Okay, so this is ladder stuff. Let's get into the language. So here we go. So I'm using YouTube Gaming, so you're not going to hear actual game sound, only I'm going to hear that, so you're just going to hear my commentary on it. Hope that is fine. So start off here. Beginning of the games, if I've got a pump, I'm going to drop that first. If I don't, I'm going to default to Ice Golem always, and right in front of my Crown Tower. What that does is it allows me to do two things. It allows me to split my Goblin gang, as you see here, so that they probably log the left side, but really the threat's on the right side. And if I don't have, if it's like not a good idea to split that Goblin gang, then usually what I will do is, drop an Xbow if I don't have pump in rotation. So you'll see, I mean, Nightwish totally overpowered in that push. I mean, that guy really just committed to the wrong side and didn't really know what he was doing. So this might not be the best example because that was just too easy. And it was like silly how easy that was. So you see here, I logged too far back thinking he might have been going for my pump, but it doesn't really matter because I stopped his push for a net even elixir trade, but my pump is still alive. So being this far ahead, I'm willing to take that damage. No big deal. I'm gonna let this game play out. I don't think it ends up being that good of a game, but you can at least see my normal Xbow setup here, which is you get the Ice Golem down as soon as it's getting next to the Xbow, or where I'm going to drop the Xbow, you drop the Xbow there. You see what they're going to drop in reaction to that, because your Ice Golem gives you plenty of time to make decisions on what your next card is, and then you just own with the Xbow. So I don't think that there's much game left here, to be honest. Not saying anything about Johnny Lynn here, but this game just did not go well for him. So I might kind of speed this up to at least 2 times so we can get through it and maybe get to some more real gameplay. So I'll show, let's say, 3 replays here. I'll do this one, I'll pick one from the middle, and then we will do whatever I did for the 12th game. Since that should have been the hardest. And if I remember correctly, it wasn't the easiest game to win in the world. So that was super one-sided. Again, I mean, not much to learn there other than you can kind of see my order of stuff. So let's pick a game here in the center where I won 1-0. So this might be a little bit of a closer match. You'll see that he's got Bowler. Bowler is typically a really, really difficult card for me to counter. Because I don't have a lot of single target DPS, and also it can just tank the Xbow forever. So you see I start with the pump, as I always prefer to do, especially if they drop a card early and I know that I'm going to have time to build up behind it. It's like, all right, time to pump. So when I see this push coming, I know I don't have any single target DPS, I don't have any flying DPS that can do it, so I have to do a defensive Xbow. This is the hardest thing to learn about really any Xbow deck, but this one in particular is when to do defensive. And you'll see that I distracted with the Ice Golem and finished all of that off with the Goblin Gang. It's possible that all of that would have been taken out with just the Ice Golem distraction and the Xbow on it, but now I've got a pump down and the Xbow down to sit on defense and just have some time to work on it. So because he poisoned that side and I was at 10 elixir, I decided to go the other lane so that I didn't lose any HP off of the Nightwitch. And even a solo Nightwitch in a lane, you have to respond to. And so now I know he's responding with the Electro Whiz. I have time to get another pump down. Things are looking good for me. So, really my only option there was to log, and I was actually hoping that that Ice Golem would pull the Knight, and was actually very, very worried here that it would not, which is why I dropped those Fire Spirits. Those Fire Spirits were like totally not necessary, considering that I had those bats left and at least one Spear Goblin, but you know what? We cleared it out. We're at equal elixir, and I still have a pump down. So, see again, he gets that bowler down, allows me to pump up. You'll see my typical rotation is to put my pumps in the bottom left and right corners, and what that usually does is it allows me to put a pump there and a pump slightly off center above the king tower. Now, I did not do that this time because I knew he had poison, so it didn't matter where I put it, and I did not want him to be able to poison 2 pumps at the same time. So I wanted him to choose, do you poison the right tower in the pump, or do you, get the pump on the left? That way you can't do both. So I figured I could go aggressive here. I knew that he was going to respond here with a couple of high DP or high HP units, so put an aggressive Inferno Tower. I should not have dropped that Ice Golem though, because what it did was it kept the bowler there out of range for long enough that it was not any help at all to me. So I'm giving up on this X-bow that's there, but I have another one coming up that's gonna, do quite well. I can see that I've got a pretty good offensive advantage here. I just need to be able to make sure that I don't let too much damage happen on that bottom right tower. So, between the Ice Golem and the Fire Spirits, we clear that out for a nice +1 trade and keep going with that, push on the left. I see that we've got a lot of time left because this is a challenge game, so I do pump up even if we're in overtime. A lot of people won't do that, but there's so much HP left on both of our towers that I just figured this was the time to do it. I didn't know what to do to keep that Executioner off, and luckily my Ice Golem got a couple of steps ahead of the X-bow, or else his axe would have been hitting that too, which would have really kind of killed my push. But luckily enough, this worked out. He does a really offensive graveyard with no support, which is just not helping him. At this point, I kind of know I've got the game because he is sitting there just reacting to my X-bows over and over and over again, and these Night Witches are not helping him. So all I have to do is I have to keep on pumping, I have to keep on rotating, and I can get past him. This deck that he's got really should beat me because he's got Swarm and he's got high HP units, or Swarm killing with the Executioner, but he just has nothing to really clear out my pumps unless he uses his poison, which he's uncomfortable doing because he needs that elixir elsewhere. So again, like I said, I feel really good about how this is all going. Even though it's a slow grind, this X-bow and Inferno Tower combination is really keeping all of his units away. So you'll see there, I actually predicted his Ewiz with a Night Witch because he had been basically out of rotation on that for a while, and I knew that he was going to be bringing that up, and Night Witch is a great counter to Electro Wiz. You see me continuing to pump up here, and what I'm trying to do actually by putting 2 pumps next to each other is draw out his poison, because I want him to start blowing elixir on clearing those out. Even though I've got it like a nice advantage with those down, it's actually even better for me if he starts using up his elixir on those pumps as opposed to defending against the X-bow, because all I need is 1 good clear, which I got here, and good game. So there you go. I'll do one more. I'll do the 12th win here. So again, that one wasn't hard, as in I wasn't at risk of losing a tower. It was hard because I just couldn't get my offense going well enough. So here we go, 12th win game against God of Gods #1. We'll see how this goes. He's got a Golem deck. Golem decks against X-bow are typically difficult, but this Inferno makes it actually pretty easy. You'll see he is running Lightning, so he should be able to clear out my Night Witch and X-bow pretty well, but obviously I won this one, so it didn't quite go in his favor. We got a little bit of a slow start here, and nobody's jumping the gun. We both kind of have slow decks. I wait for him because, I don't have a great start. I don't like dropping a Night Witch by herself because now they know how to counter, but his his drop in the back means, okay, I know how to counter this easily, even with that baby dragon there. Like, this is not going to be tough for me. And you don't often see fire spirits dropped to counter a baby dragon, but in this instance it made sense because there were the distracting bats. And then in addition to that, I got enough damage off the tower that made it worth defending the X-bow with an Ice Golem against the Mega Minion, because I knew that Mega Minion would be taking hits from the tower as it was attacking, and also the slow from the Ice Golem falling down. So I've already got his tower down to 844. I'm feeling pretty good, but I will say that when I see this Golem in the back, that's when I start getting worried, because I go, okay, do I do a defensive X-bow? Probably not, because I don't need it, but I will need this Inferno. He doesn't know I have this yet, so I'm glad to see him drop other units that will not help out with that. See that he's got those lightning, which should really help him. However, those bats are just going insane. I don't know why I dropped that Ice Golem. I don't have a good answer for it. Maybe I was trying to cycle? I don't know. But anyway, I took advantage of it and said, okay, if he drops anything lightweight at all, I've got that covered. This X-bow at this point just needs to kind of go. I'm not going to get that much damage with it, but I did know, since he was at 844 before, every little bit of chip is good for me. Since he's not running pump, I did kind of an aggressive pump without waiting until 10 elixir, because I knew he was going Golem in the back. Now, if he had gone Golem at the bridge, I think my Inferno still would have really been enough to stop him, because getting to his lightning would have taken a little while. So again, I'm feeling really good about this, because his baby dragon is not clearing out enough. I've got an Ice Golem there to distract the baby dragon so that my units can get that lumberjack. Right now, I'm not seeing anything that's that worrisome. I am seeing a difficulty in actually getting an offense down, but now I've caught him off guard. I know a Golem's coming. I'm thinking, okay, maybe I'm just going to have to log him out on this, because that's my only offensive spell. As long as I can keep his Golem away from my tower, which I don't have a problem doing, we shouldn't have a problem with that. So just keep it going. That X-bow is going to get him down enough, and that's good game for 12 wins. So I hope that is kind of a good rundown of how the deck works. It's not always that easy. Like I said, some games were very, very close. But in all reality, it's a pretty strong deck. I mean, people don't know how to play against X-bow, which helps. Night Witch being new means that her counters are not strong. Put those two things together, and you get people, I think, overcommitting often, which is how you win games. So that's it. That's all I got for you, and I hope this helps.